Hello and welcome to this presentations videocast. Last time I spoke to you, I mentioned the power of using videos in presentations, and amazingly people don't think of using these very powerful communication tools, even though there are many of them there. But this time I wanted to follow that up with a sort of a complementary idea that's even less often used in relation to video, and that is making the videos yourself. And most people would immediately shy away from that. They don't have a camera, they can't edit, blah de blah. But for a particular reason that most presenters aren't aware of, it's not only easier than you think, but more powerful than you think to do so. And to illustrate what I'm talking about, I'm going to play you a clip. This clip, I would say, most of you will have seen before, and yet when you watch it, you possibly won't recognize it, which sounds absurd, but I'll explain what I mean in a second. It's very short, and watch very closely. I'll play the clip. There's no sound. Slight giveaway as to what that was the skyline in the background. That is the skyline to the Hudson River, and that is a very famous crash landing on the Hudson River some years ago, where the pilot successfully, in a plane that had lost power, managed to land the plane, forced landing on water, and everybody escaped. Some amazing footage and photographs afterwards of people on the wing of the aircraft, and everyone, because of the skill and quick thinking of the pilot, managed to escape. Even made into a film starring Tom Hanks called Sully. So a remarkable story. What's the footage got to do with this? Well, that's the only footage of the landing itself. And you can see how atrocious the quality is. I'm going to play it again, just the start of it, or just that little clip of it, and you'll notice just on the left of the screen, as you look there, you'll see the plane coming in around about the middle of the picture. Just catch it there. You see that again? There. So the point is, this was on national news channels across the world. I would say nearly every single channel, major channel across the world, picked this up and broadcast it. And yet the quality is atrocious. And it brings about an interesting point. If that's the only footage you have of this amazing story, then it will be absolutely spellbinding to any audience that views it, and they'll completely forgive any notion of picture quality because they know it's not produced but rather captured from the real world. And that's exactly the point with presentations, your own presentations and videos. And what I'm talking about here is just, literally taking out your phone and shooting a really quick video in order to illustrate a point, if that helps you to tell your story. I'll show you another video clip from a presentation to illustrate this. This was from a presentation on pyrite, which was the stuff they put into the foundations of houses in Ireland during the building boom, which was completely unsuitable filler material and caused the floors and the walls and everything to crack, made the houses valueless, and they all had to be renovated at enormous cost and inconvenience to the dwellers of the house. And this presentation was given by a contract civil engineer who was explaining the process, and he used these video clips. You'll see here, they're just single caption. He's put in single captions and just taken little clips of each part of the diagnosis and eventually then later on the remedy of this process. And you can see this one here is particularly clever. It shows the spirit level on the ground, just shows the bending or the distortion of the flat floor that would normally be flat concrete floor. So the videos were brilliant, and they were just, probably a phone. I don't even know if it was as complicated as an iPad. Just held up and take the video. You can even see in one of them, you can actually see a reflection of the person taking the video. It's not particularly high quality production, but it doesn't have to be, because when you include a video in a presentation that illuminates the presentation like this one did, you're adding value. You're saying to the audience, I've told you about this, and even had actually a bag of pyrite on the table with samples so that we could see what this stuff looked like. So it was very visceral, very real. Told us the stories and had the example. As that video was playing, he was telling us the background, giving us facts and figures and telling us stories about how these projects unfold. So on top of that spoken stuff, you think, well, what does this look like? And yes, you can show still pictures, but the video is just so much better. And often there's cases where if you just take out your phone and shoot a video, you get more value. And if you're adding more value in the presentation, in other words, if you're showing the audience something that helps them to hear, see, understand what you're talking about, they'll want to see it, no matter how bad the quality is. I saw another example of this in a health and safety presentation where there was bullet points about a guardrail that was misplaced and a problem to do with the production line and difficulties with operations. And the person in the end, when we discussed it, just took out her phone, went down, walked around the particular item she was talking about, and in 10 seconds the story was told. You could just see exactly what she was talking about just with a video made with her phone. And you don't even have to edit the videos, just make a note to yourself, play at 1 minute for 10 seconds, and there's content. I'm going to show you one more just to finish up, which is just really clever and funny and brilliant and actually does the job of illustrating a point. This was a group who were talking about really a very topical issue, fake news and sources of information and what you believe or don't believe. And they just said, we'll do a little experiment at the end of the presentation to show you one of the ideas. And it was, they went down to one of the car parks nearby and started directing traffic, and one of the presenters shot the video from a distance and the other one put on a high-vis vest and did the same experiment with and without the high-vis vest, and here are the results. So just really clever and funny, and it's a case of seeing is believing. Most of us would imagine something like that would happen or would have heard stories of things like that happening, but it's when you see it, it's just so much more powerful. And that's just a guy, you know, putting on a high-vis vest and a simple single angle unedited video of what happened, and it's very clever. And also I thought very interesting was the story behind it. What was really fascinating was when the presenters were talking about it afterwards, they said that it wasn't so much the effect it had on the drivers that intrigued them, it was the effect it had on the guy who was wearing the vest. He became kind of power crazy, if you like, and didn't want to take it off because he was having so much fun. And you could even see in his body language, he's just so much more strident when he has the vest on and so much more sure of himself than when he doesn't. So it's a brilliant little social experiment, and it's just a video clip. And if it adds that bit of value, throw it in there. Take out your phone, shoot the video, add it in. It's such a simple, brilliant communication tool, something to think about for your next presentation. Next time, we will look at something to do with stories and storytelling.